Chapter 3. Time to Emerge. I had lost count of the days that I'd spent alone in the darkness of my study. I had taken to eating, sleeping, and living in this precious space, and would allow my maid to enter once a day to bring food and water and to remove my piss pot. The air was thick of soot, smoke, and the damp smell of urine and chemicals, and I loved it. I wore a cape that was as old as I. It had holes in its hem and a rip in the rear where the cloth had become threadbare. My beard was matted and without tending had grown to disguise my face completely and merged with my hair that sat past my shoulders. I should imagine, to the nose that had recently smelt fresh air, I could have curdled their stomach and repulsed them in my appearance. I cared not of other people's thoughts of me, for if I smelt of a rose or was dripping in the finest velvet, I would still be looked upon as at the court as a leper. If it was not for the Queen's fair hand that had been extended to me her favour, I would have never stepped within the walls of the palace. But I was not in her favour, and there were others who were able to shower her with their trinkets and slather compliments that held her favour at present. She was trying to remove from herself a stain that I had placed upon her, as if she had held her pen too tight and the ink was clinging to her fingers. We had spent many weeks together, alone in a room that was gifted to me as a study. She would visit me daily and question all the mysteries of the universe. Her mind was far too ripe and far too open for that of a woman, and would debate a subject as heartily as any man. My stomach would clench as she rushed past me, and I would swoon inside as she looked upon my telescope, an invention that I was most proud of to have created the concept of, and I was helped with its initial crude creation by a young Master Tilsley, who crafted for me its casing. She would swing open the window, hitch about her skirt, and show a glimpse of a stockinged ankle that I would dare myself to look down at. Her attention was deeply engaged in the stars. She would have me draw for her charts regarding their position in the sky. She knew all the constellations by name and would pick them out from the inky black sky that hung heavily over London. But her true fascination was that of the darkness of the other worlds. She craved to make contact. She had a deep desire to speak to those who had left this mortal coil and resided in the arms of the angels. Oh, and trust me when I speak and say to you there was no melancholy desire to speak to those who may have shown her love. No. She sought the mysteries from behind the veil. She wanted me to teach her of the communications with the angels. She wanted to sit and seek out their counsel and be guided to greatness by the divine, not a room full of pomp and preening peacocks that only offer her advice to better their own ends. She knew of the power that was sat watching and waiting behind the veil, and would listen intently to my stories that I had experienced with Kelly. In my passion, I know I had ignited a flame within her, a burning desire to remove herself from the world that weighs heavily around her neck, and to step into a world in which rational thought is not allowed to sit. I knew she desired that for one moment to be free from the trappings of her physical form and be released upon her own silver cord and floated into the stars that she had marvelled upon through my telescope. She was an adventurer, for if she was not a queen and had not been forced into the frame of a female, she would be upon the high seas and would be claiming land for a different sovereign. For my queen may paint her face and contort her body into the restrictions of the expected feminine regalia, but in truth she had the heart and mind of a man. Trust me in this when I say to you, each moment to me was precious and magical, but her mood could turn the same cold harshness as my obsidian mirror in a second, should I suppose to tell her something that she did not want to have placed at her ears. Her eyes would lower. She would lower her head and would peer at me with such severity that she would strike fear into my very core. For my head upon its shoulders was of great importance to me, and knew that at any time that we spent together could trigger her into a decision to have one removed from the other. And this is the reason why I'd made my excuses to remove myself from her service, for I sensed that I could not please her and needed to step away for my own safety in the pursuit of a guaranteed process that I could produce to my queen, so that she could join the world of the angels and would never ever face disappointment. I needed time alone to discover a new gate that could be opened for her only, so that she may step freely into a world behind ours and emerge enlightened. The task was great, and many hours I have studied to find it, but I now believe I have done just that, and the time fast approaches that I must emerge once more from the shadows and ask that she shower upon me her graces once more.